Looky here, can you see this? This is only half of them that was here a minute ago. Uh-huh, and you too. Look at, we're gonna talk about the bees again today. Look at them. Uh-huh. So they all come in here. Oh, how cute is that? Can you see that? Let's see if I can get. Oh, look at how they're cleaning each other. Oh, kissing. Oh man, I just love the bees so much. Uh-huh. Even though they're crawling on me right now as I speak. Now looky here up in the corner. See him up there? I don't know if I can zoom or not. It's bad, the light. Okay, I'll try to get him. This is like less than 20% what was in here a minute ago before I started. I opened up the door. I said, y'all got to go outside. Y'all are too much. Because let me tell you what happened. I'll tell you. See, look at. Who's crawling on my arm over here? Who is that? Who is? Huh? Who's crawling on me? Him needs to go. Look. Alright, sorry about that. I just... Daggone it. I literally... Look. So we're going to talk about the bees a little bit more. Okay. So, I'm sitting here. Well, actually, I was standing there trying to get some work done because I was in front of the laptop, and you know I got to get up every once in a while and move around. So I'm standing there, and like here, I'm gonna see if I can reenact this for you. Hold on, just a second. So I'm standing right here, like this, and you know, and I'm moving my feet back and forth and doing this kind of stuff, right? And here comes a bee. And I literally watched him crawl, and because when my foot was like that for just a moment, he crawled right up under my foot. Let's see if I can show you, like, right, well, you'll see here in a minute exactly where he went. So I was like, no, you don't need to, I'm not going to turn my foot around and squish you because I ain't trying to get stung again. I like the medicine of the bees, but it's pretty painful. Okay, so I moved my foot and I told him, no, you won't do that. And then I watched him move away, and then I moved back again, and this time I didn't see it. Somebody else came and position themselves exactly, yeah, you, I'm talking about you. Well, not you in particular, but just like that on the floor. He's close to the floor, and he snuck up underneath my foot again. And I didn't see him this time, and I did like that. And you know, I'm gonna just show you the rest of the story. Let's see if there's a pattern in here we can discern something. Let me get some better light, actually. Let's see if you can see beyond my dirty feet. So what's on there? Is that like a pattern of something? What's that look like? Well, I have to just keep an eye on it. Looks like a kind of a scorpion to me, which that would be, or a dragonfly. I don't know. Anyhow, yep, you guessed it. So here's the remedy. The remedy is to walk into your kitchen or wherever you got the vinegar without stepping on somebody again. And look at, they're everywhere. Okay. Get you some vinegar. Get you some vinegar. And put the vinegar straight away. Put the vinegar straight away, and then it'll reduce the, you know, the swelling and the inflammation and stuff. But now, having said that, If you do get stung and you don't have any vinegar, the medicine will come really strong, but it's good medicine. There are, I'm not sure too much about up in the north, but down in sort of Mesoamerica, yeah, like parts of Mexico and down south, like, you know, Central and South America. They actually know this. They remember that the medicine of the bees, and they treat people who have diabetes, arthritis, basically any affliction in the body, whatever that affliction is, and they take the bee. I don't really necessarily agree with this. I don't actually, it bothers me, but they take the bees and they put them in like a tweezers, and then they just pluck them on your body wherever it is that you have the affliction, or on certain like grid lines of the body, grid lines like you might see on a reflexology map, for instance. So I don't agree with that, because, well, apparently when they're stingers, when they sting, that's it. That's like the end of their existence, because it like unplugs something in their abdomen and they just die after that. So I don't really, especially when I consider that all the sicknesses, what they call diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, any of your so-called cancers, etc., 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 they can all be cured, or prevented rather, if we, you know, had a healthy diet and had a better frequency, sort of, let's say, to live in. So I don't know if I mentioned this about the bees in one of the previous podcasts, but so you know how you and I see, when we open up our eyes, we see our surroundings, right? We take a picture of it with our eyes. Well, the bees, they just see, like, they see in a different, they see on a different color spectrum, let's just say. He's crawling on my foot now. What you doing down there? He's crawling up my leg. Oh my goodness. You need to quit. I gotta be careful. I'm not trying to get stung again, but anyhow, it's good medicine. So the bees, they see, like if you could put it into the eye, into the perspective of the human eyeball, they would see anything that is green, that is emanating with the color of the heart chakra. And that would be like your flowers, of course. You know, they're attracted to the flowers because the flowers are emanating love, right? A frequency of love. But yeah. Well, I just wanted to give another shout out to the bees, post medicine. But yeah, I'm gonna go over here and take a picture of these guys again. I'll take a video of these guys again. Hang on. Here we go. Oh, better watch where I'm walking. Hang on. All right, where'd you go? Here. Look at these. What are you doing? And so anyway, I was grateful to receive the medicine of the bees always. Oh, listen to it again. Oh yeah, you want me to tell him that? Okay, I will. So when I was doing my what's called the Vision Quest, when I was doing my Vision Quest, oh gosh, I guess that would have been the year 2020. I don't know. Let's see their calendar. That was my 9 days on the mountain. And you know, I like to ponder things, you know, like things that most people don't like to ponder, like anti-gravity vehicles, for instance. So I'm always like curious about that, and you know, even though you're left alone with your thoughts. So that's what came through to me was about the anti-gravity vehicles, and I was like, hey, I bet you if I just reverse engineer it, I think I might have covered this in another video. Let me go back over here. I didn't. Oh man, look at this. One here, another there, 3, 4, 5. Now he's literally crawling on my foot. No, I don't need no more medicine. I'm good. Oh my goodness. See that scar right there? That scar right there. One of 14 surgeries I had. Associated with the duties of my other job. So, what was I saying? Anti-gravity vehicles, yeah. So I was sitting on the mountain, and I was like, well, why don't I just, like, what do you mean gravity? First of all, define gravity. That's my, what does it mean to have a vehicle that's, you know, like anti-gravity, or a vehicle that's subject to gravity? Tell me, what is gravity? So, oh boy, no scientist in the world can ever explain what gravity is, can they? So there I was, and I, you know, just sort of reverse engineered the question. So in other words, instead of saying, well, if no scientist can answer the question, then reverse engineer the question, and then we can maybe come up with some ideas. And so I said, well, then what is gravity not? Now, then it came immediately, one of the theories to the unanswerable question of what is gravity. I could say, what is gravity not? And then I could say, my theory is, the absence of one or more frequencies. So the bees, you know, they don't fly by like flapping their wings per se. They hover. They essentially are the anti-gravity vehicle, right? The prototype, if you will. The bees, and some other folks like the colibri and the dragonfly. So then I began to draw upon that thesis, if you will, and say, well, yeah, let me do a little research and development and go back just to the turn of the 20th century. when they turned on the dirty electricity. The one that runs through the wires, the fake one, the one that you pay your bill for every month. The opposite of free energy. And that was a weapon. That's a weaponized frequency, you could say, because it is because it's unnatural. It's required. It's a frequency that's required for our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, all aspects of our health, because we're energetical beings. So if we are absent with one of the frequencies, we require one of the frequencies of our Mother Earth, let's say, or if that frequency has been drowned out or obscured by some other more dissonant frequencies, like the ones I talk about all the time with the AI devices and the routers and all the, everything. Super, 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 hella crazy, off the chart. Let's just say dissonant frequencies, but they're not. They're weapons of war. Warfare, I should say. They're weapons of warfare, of waging war. And it is what it is. I'm not going to go into conspiracy theory, conspiracy fact. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm just going to say it is what it is. How is it there? How is it there? What role? What role do I play, for instance? Well, I have a cell phone, don't I? I got a laptop, don't I? So as we all get, more and more connected to this, what we feel is a need to be connected to the AI devices and to the internet writ large and these kinds of things, right? Probably it's gonna be well, let me rephrase that. I don't even want to. There's some things I want to be careful not to say. I'm gonna think of another way to say this. Give me a second. I'm watching the bees. So okay, I'm gonna just spit it like this. We don't need to destroy the earth to live upon the earth. And if we find ourselves in such a situation as that is what presents, then it's time to consider that there's another way. There's another way. There's always another way. If we just stop and ponder it, get away from all the dissonance and the distractions, and then, because all the answers you need is right there. It's right there in your heart. That's the heart is what they call, I guess, what's the word for that? One word is called the Akashic Records. Is that right? I can't remember. But then in the gut, you store also what they call the phylogenetic memory. I talked about that in a video that was erased. Because the Holy Trinity, this thing they call the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, is primarily those three, what they call chakras. The root chakra, the heart chakra, and the corona chakra. So once those three are reconnected, then then now you have what they call access to the Akashic records, if you will. If that's the right way to say that, I don't know. The memory. So when that lights back up, and it is lighting back up, then my ponderings won't be considered so abnormal. You know, if I want to talk about anti-gravity vehicles, everybody should be like, oh yeah, I got a prototype in my garage. It's because if it's the absence of one or more frequencies, then it follows that, you know, the solution to the solution to invasive, that's Mato at the door, the solution to invasive practices of drilling Mother Earth's cranial sacral fluid out to extract it and call it oil and say that it's a fossil fuel when that's just so absurd. Don't even get me started about that. I think I did a whole separate video on that. And then using it to fuel caveman antiquated combustion engine vehicles and fly heavy metal and steel fuselages. Oh my goodness. That's just so forceful, isn't it? Like Mato, watch, see if he bangs on the door again. So that's the way. That's what it. That refers back to. And there's a book. I think a book was written on this. At least one. On the principle of, or on the analysis of two perspectives. Let's say one of force and the other one being of power. Like force versus power, I think was one of the names of the books. Yeah, forcing something to be sustainable versus having the power to regenerate and renew, and therefore not be, you know, parasitical on our Mother Earth, because she's waking up. Yes, she is. When the Great Mother wakes up, when she sits up, and you thought that was a mountain, she sits up that mountain, and she spreads green everywhere, and then she lies back down to sleep. Some of the ancestor stories about that, if you want to check them out. So, yeah, that's all I want to say about that today, the bees. And how, you know, oh yes, my vision quest. Yeah, the 9 days. So there I was, and I was reverse engineering this question, and I was like, then, if this, then what, you know, as I usually do. My left brain scientist engineer side of me likes to fill in the moments, and this bee arrived. Now, if you've ever done a vision quest, you'll know what I'm saying. But you're up there basically doing a dry fast, and nothing but a blanket, no distractions, just you and the nature, you and the ancestors, you and the spirit, you and the elements, you and the 7 sacred directions, or I should say the 4 sacred directions that around you, and then the other 3 are within. And it's a good way to tune in to the real divine intelligence or sacred intelligence, whatever you want to call that the creator of everything, right? So when something then appears in your reality while you're sitting up there, like whoever it is, it doesn't matter, even if it's an ant, you would pay attention to it. And the first thing you want to do is see it with your eyeballs, right? You want to, oh wow, I have a visitor. Speaking of which, I have a visitor right here. See if he wants. You want to get in the picture with me? Okay, come on, come on. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. This bee on the mountain. I heard him first. He showed up over here. And immediately I wanted to turn and see who was, buzzing in my ear. And I did glimpse him for a moment, and he was one of these big, fat, what they call bumblebees, so even more heavy than the regular, honeybees. And it's like, how do you fly? And he said, Tere, I'm not here for you to see me. You already know what I look like. But listen, that's all. I want you to listen. Okay. So I just stared straight ahead and let him. He went all the way around my head. I swear he was there for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Just buzzing all around. And yeah. So that would be my, that was my answer to the anti-gravity vehicle, is to first find a way for the natural frequencies to override the unnatural frequencies. Of course, your volcanic eruptions are going to spew carbon into the air, and that's going to really seriously interfere with the caveman airplanes. But it's going to bring everything green again. Like the bees, like the color that the bees see, the green, the source of life, the great mother, the volcano that wakes up. Or the sleeping woman that on the mountain. There's so many like this you can see. If you look, you can see the forms of a feminine. Anyhow, so it's the absence. It's the absence of the natural frequencies that create, therefore, in my theory, the effect of gravity. Now, if there's any other visionaries, dreamers, engineers, scientists, whatever, that would like to ponder and develop some prototypes, I'm very interested to work with folks like that. Yeah, because man, like my car is only 7 years old, but it's been on the coast. It's been on the coast pretty much the whole time, and it's real salty. The air and a lot of humidity too with the ocean. So it really does wear down it causes the already inferior steel to oxidize and fail, or it'll have stress fractures in it because it becomes weaker and weaker when it's exposed to the elements. Now, of course, there's a far superior product we can make called hemp steel, and I'm sure hemp's not the only thing. We could use other materials as well. But 4 times stronger than steel, 8 times lighter, doesn't rust, doesn't expand and contract in your walls. I'm just saying, the infrastructure that's made with, I'm going to say it again, because I think I mentioned it once before, and if I didn't, I'm going to say it now. The infrastructure that's created with materials, let's just say, that are unnatural, like not like the way that they're procured is invasive and abusive to the earth or the water or the environment writ large. It's all gonna come down now because it's just an inferior product. But why? Well, why is it inferior? Well, apart from those reasons I've illustrated, about it being stronger and lighter and all that, you just know it's going to be superior because the method by which you produce it and procure it is not invasive to the earth or not polluting to the water or the environment. That is the key to the success of the businesses of what I've been calling the industries of the future, but I've been saying industries of the future now for going on, I don't know, 11 years, I reckon. So yeah, it's here, that it's now, the things that I've been dreaming of. So all of you with that, family, and I hope that that you might take some time, excuse me, to there's nosy butts everywhere, bees everywhere. Might take the time to take the time out, off the devices, put them down, shut them off. Put them down, shut them off. Spend some time in quiet, in the nature, and whatever troubles your heart, whatever occupies your mind, whatever things that are stirred up in your phylogenetic memory data bank in the root chakra. That all, like, it's medicine for all of that, right? To light up those chakras again. So, even if you can't go and do, 4 or 7 or 9 or 13 or more, the more the better. As long as you have, just have your family and your friends praying for you while you go on your journey, your walkabout, if you will. But try not to walk too much. Do spend some time in just silence and stillness. And whatever it is that you dream of, whatever it is that interests you, that piques your curiosity, that that fire, that passion you have in your heart, whatever that is, that you want to do, like for a so-called job, I don't want to go and punch somebody else's time clock. I'd rather fill in the blank, whatever that is. But you don't know. I mean, I remember when I was graduating what they call the high school, and I'm sitting there talking to the guidance counselor about what I want to do, and I was like, well, how in the hell do I know that? I don't even know myself, because, you know, society is so fast-paced, and there's no, like, example being emulated for me by my elders. So I don't even know about these rites of passage. I don't even know about, I've never heard of the Vision Quest. Well, what is the Vision Quest? It's, I think, the first 2 videos I did back in 2019, I reckon. But first you must seek, right? And then receive. And then there's a sacrifice that comes with it too. Yeah, that means putting down the cell phone. That means turning everything and everybody off, and just because it's too much. It's too much. 24/7, 365, non-stop input, 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 input. With no time to recharge. When and before I finish, I just want to go back again to the concept of weaponized frequencies to demonstrate, or using the scientific method. Is it observable? Is it repeatable? Is it observable? Is it measurable? And is it repeatable? Well, you can look up every disease and every sickness there is and see that, yeah, it's, you've got high blood pressure, it's this much over this much, you've got this much over this much cholesterol or whatever readings. That's measurable. And observable is obviously, it's you can see it. And repeatable, yeah, and you can